It is truly an honor to stand before you today. Look at this room, full of incredible individuals, each with dreams, aspirations, and a unique journey unfolding. We're here to talk about something profoundly important, something that can utterly transform the direction of your life if you simply decide to embrace it. It's about taking hold of your own narrative, becoming the captain of your own ship, and navigating the vast ocean of life with purpose and conviction. This isn't just some abstract idea. It's a practical, actionable philosophy that will empower you in ways you can scarcely imagine right now. It means truly understanding that the power to change, to achieve, to overcome rests squarely within you. No one else holds that key. No one else has the map to your personal treasure. It's an inside job, a deep-seated commitment to yourself. You see, for too long, many people have been taught, or perhaps have simply fallen into the habit of looking outside themselves for solutions, for validation, for rescue. They scan the horizon, waiting for a savior, a lottery win, a sudden stroke of luck, or for someone else to step in and fix their problems. But I'm here to tell you with absolute certainty that this mindset is a trap. It's a subtle form of giving away your power piece by piece until you feel utterly dependent on external forces. And when you are dependent on things you cannot control, you are by definition vulnerable. You are susceptible to the whims of others, to economic shifts, to unforeseen circumstances that can derail your progress and leave you feeling helpless. This waiting game, this hope for an external fix, it doesn't just waste your precious time. It erodes your spirit and diminishes your potential. Consider the sheer energy expended in waiting. The restless nights, the anxious days, the constant checking for news or signs of that external intervention. Imagine if even a fraction of that energy were redirected inward, towards self-improvement, towards skill development, towards strategic planning. The results would be nothing short of miraculous. That's what we're talking about today. Shifting that energy, that focus, that expectation from the outside world to the incredible reservoir of power that resides within you. This is about cultivating a profound sense of self-reliance, a robust inner strength that serves as your unshakable foundation, regardless of what storms may rage around you. It's about recognizing that you possess all the intrinsic capabilities to design, build, and live the life you truly desire. The journey to true self-reliance begins with a simple yet monumental decision. The decision to take full, absolute responsibility for your own life. Every success, every setback, every choice, every consequence, it all stems from you. This isn't about blaming yourself for things beyond your control, but rather acknowledging that your response to those things is entirely within your domain. The weather might be bad, but how you prepare for it, how you navigate it, how you respond to its effects, that's on you. The economy might fluctuate, but your skills, your adaptability, your financial prudence, those are choices you make. This acceptance of responsibility isn't a burden. It's the ultimate liberation. It frees you from the endless cycle of complaint and allows you to move into a proactive, solution-oriented state of mind. It's a powerful feeling, knowing that your destiny is not left to chance or the will of others, but is firmly in your own hands. This foundational shift, this embracing of full responsibility, is the launch pad for everything else we will discuss. It's the starting point for building the life you envision, a life marked by purpose, achievement, and genuine fulfillment. Without this crucial step, all other efforts will be like building a magnificent house on shifting sand. It simply won't stand the test of time or adversity. But with it, you construct a bedrock of certainty, a resilient core that will support you through every challenge and celebrate every triumph. It means stopping the finger pointing, stopping the excuses, and starting the invaluable work of self-creation. It's an exhilarating prospect, really, when you consider the boundless potential that awaits you once you fully commit to this path. Think about it this way. What does it feel like when you genuinely take charge? When you step up, analyze a situation, and make a conscious decision, not based on what others expect, but on what you know to be right for you. There's a quiet strength that emerges, a sense of inner calm and confidence. This feeling is not dependent on external praise or validation. It springs from the deep well of your own integrity and conviction. It's the feeling of being truly present in your own life, rather than just being carried along by the current. It's about intentionally steering your course, rather than just drifting wherever the wind blows. This internal power, once fully embraced, becomes an unstoppable force, propelling you towards your highest aspirations. It's a profound shift from being a passenger in your own life to becoming the pilot, charting your own unique and meaningful journey. This understanding of self-responsibility extends to every facet of your existence. Your health, your relationships, your finances, your personal growth. Are you truly taking responsibility for nourishing your body, for cultivating meaningful connections, for managing your resources wisely, for continuously expanding your mind? Or are you passively hoping these areas will improve on their own, or waiting for someone else to step in and fix them for you? The reality is, life doesn't simply get better by wishing, it gets better by taking deliberate, consistent action. It's about being proactive, about making conscious choices that align with your long-term vision, even when those choices might be difficult in the short term. This is the essence of building a truly intentional life, a life where you are the primary architect, laying each brick with care and foresight. When you fully absorb this principle, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You start to view challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as valuable tests that strengthen your resolve and sharpen your skills. Every problem becomes an invitation to innovate, to learn, to grow. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what can I do about this? This shift in perspective is incredibly empowering. It transforms you from a victim of circumstance into a master of your own destiny. It fosters a robust sense of self-efficacy, the belief in your own capacity to succeed, to influence events, and to achieve your goals. This inner conviction is far more valuable than any external approval, because it is unwavering and entirely yours. And this isn't about being isolated or disconnected from others. Far from it. When you are strong and self-reliant, you become a more valuable contributor to your family, your community, and your professional service. You are able to give more, to support others more effectively, precisely because you are not depleting your own reserves by constantly seeking external validation or rescue. You become a source of strength, not a drain. Your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, to think for yourself, to solve your own problems, inspires those around you and creates a ripple effect of positive influence. So taking full responsibility isn't just a personal victory. It's a victory for everyone whose life you touch. It elevates not just your own existence, but the collective experience of those around you. It truly sets a new standard for what's possible, simply because you chose to take charge. So, the first most crucial step on this journey of self-reliance is to embrace, with every fiber of your being, the absolute truth that you are fully responsible for your life. From this powerful stance, everything else flows. From this core belief, you build the unshakable confidence and unwavering determination that will carry you through every challenge and propel you towards every dream. It's a challenging path, yes, but it is also the most rewarding, the most fulfilling, and ultimately the only path to genuine freedom and lasting success. Embrace it, live it, and watch your life transform. It is within your grasp right now to begin this incredible journey. Now, moving on from this crucial foundation, let's talk about something that often holds people back. The enemy of progress, waiting. Stop waiting for others to rescue you. This isn't a harsh judgment, it's a liberating truth. How many brilliant ideas have been left unpursued because someone was waiting for permission, for funding, for a partner, for an invitation, for a sign from the universe? How many dreams have withered on the vine because the dreamer was patiently expecting someone else to come along and provide the push, the resources, or the initial spark? The reality is, life is not a dress rehearsal, and time is not an infinite commodity. Every moment spent waiting is a moment lost, a potential unfulfilled, a chapter unwritten in the grand story of your life. Think about the feeling of being in a waiting room. You're passive, your fate is in someone else's hands, you're simply observing the clock tick by. You don't have a control over when your name will be called, or even if it will be called. Now compare that to the feeling of actively moving towards a goal, of taking decisive steps, of making things happen. There's an energy there, a sense of purpose and control that is invigorating. This is the fundamental difference between waiting for rescue and actively building your own salvation. The world doesn't owe you anything, and no one is obligated to swoop in and solve your problems for you. To expect otherwise is to set yourself up for continuous disappointment and a lifetime of unfulfilled potential. The habit of waiting often stems from a misconception that success is granted rather than earned. It's the belief that somehow someone else has the magic wand, the secret formula, or the golden key that will unlock your potential. But the truth is, you are the magic wand, you hold the secret formula, you possess the golden key. It's about activating what's already within you, rather than passively hoping for an external handout. This doesn't mean you shouldn't seek help or guidance when appropriate. Collaboration and learning from others are vital, but there's a significant difference between seeking wise counsel to enhance your own efforts and simply sitting idly expecting someone to do the heavy lifting for you. The former is empowering, the latter is disempowering. Consider the opportunities that pass by unnoticed while you are in a state of passive expectation. The subtle signals, the small openings, the nascent possibilities, they often require a proactive, attentive mind to grasp. If you're constantly looking over your shoulder, waiting for a grand entrance, you might miss the quiet, persistent knocking of opportunity right at your front door. It's the difference between being a spectator in your own life and being a full, active participant. When you stop waiting for rescue, you immediately step into the arena, ready to engage, ready to create, ready to conquer. This active posture changes everything. It changes your perception, your energy, and ultimately your results. This principle applies across all areas of life. Are you waiting for your boss to notice your talent before you take initiative at work? Are you waiting for a perfect relationship to simply appear rather than actively cultivating the qualities that attract and sustain meaningful connections? Are you waiting for inspiration to strike before you start that creative project? Instead of showing up every day and doing the work, the answers to these questions reveal a lot about your current mindset. The most successful people in any field are not those who waited patiently for permission. They are the ones who forged their own path, often against significant odds, simply because they refused to wait for someone else to pave it for them. The act of waiting for rescue often carries with it an underlying fear of failure. If someone else is responsible for your success, then their failure becomes an excuse for your lack of progress. But when you are the one taking the initiative, the responsibility for both success and failure rests with you. This can be intimidating, but it is also incredibly liberating. It means that every setback is a learning opportunity, a chance to refine your approach, to gain valuable experience, and to grow stronger. It removes the external scapegoat and forces you to confront your own choices and strategies, which is where true growth and mastery occur. It transforms you from someone who reacts to life into someone who shapes it. When you decide to stop waiting, you cultivate a profound sense of urgency. Not a frantic, anxious urgency, but a focused, productive one. You recognize that your time here is finite and that every day is a precious gift, an opportunity to make progress, to contribute, to build something meaningful. This urgency becomes a powerful motivator, pushing past procrastination and into consistent action. You begin to appreciate the value of small, daily efforts that compound over time into significant achievements. The compounding effect of consistent, proactive action is far more powerful than any sudden external rescue could ever be. It's the steady drip that carves the stone, not the sudden flood. So, how do you practically stop waiting? It starts with identifying the areas where you are currently in a holding pattern. What are you delaying? What are you putting off, hoping someone else will resolve for you? Once you identify these areas, commit to taking one small, immediate action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Take that first step, however small. Send that email, make that phone call, write that first paragraph, take that first class. Each small act of initiative builds momentum and reinforces the belief that you are capable of driving your own progress. This is the essence of taking control, of asserting your agency, and of proving to yourself through action that you are the primary force in your own life. This is not about being reckless or impulsive. It's about being intentional and strategic in your self-reliance. It means making a conscious choice to be the initiator, the problem solver, the creator, rather than the passive recipient. It's about understanding that the resources, the ideas, the solutions you seek are often closer than you think, often residing within your own capacity to act. The world is full of opportunities for those who are willing to step forward and seize them, rather than waiting politely for them to be handed over. So cast aside the expectation of rescue, embrace your own power, step into the arena, start now. Your future self will thank you for it. This isn't just about achieving goals, it's about fundamentally altering your relationship with life, transforming it from a passive experience into an active, deliberate creation. Now consider a different yet equally crucial aspect of building an unshakable life: the cultivation of inner confidence. We're talking about building an inner confidence that doesn't rely on the approval of others. This is a profound distinction because many people confuse self-esteem that comes from external praise with genuine, deeply rooted self-confidence. The kind of confidence that truly serves you, that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, isn't something you can earn through accolades, compliments, or public recognition. Those things are fleeting, subject to the opinions and moods of others, and can vanish as quickly as they appear. True confidence is an internal architecture, built brick by brick through self-awareness, consistent effort, and a deep understanding of your own capabilities and values. Think about it. How fragile is a sense of self that constantly needs external validation to survive? It's like a plant that can only thrive in perfect, controlled conditions, shriveling at the first sign of adverse weather. When your confidence is dependent on what others think or say about you, you essentially hand over the reins of your emotional well-being to them. Their fleeting praise can make you feel temporarily good, but their criticism, their indifference, or even their mere silence can send you spiraling into doubt and self-questioning. This is a precarious way to live, always reacting to external cues, always adjusting your internal state based on factors entirely outside your control. It creates a roller coaster of emotions, preventing you from establishing a stable, consistent sense of self. Genuine inner confidence, on the other hand, is like a sturdy oak tree. It has deep roots, drawing nourishment from within, capable of withstanding strong winds and storms. It doesn't need constant sunshine from external approval to stand tall. This kind of confidence comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you are capable of, regardless of what anyone else might say or believe. It's forged in the fires of effort, perseverance, and overcoming personal challenges. It grows from the quiet satisfaction of knowing you did your best, that you stayed true to your principles, that you pushed past your own perceived limitations. This is a far more reliable and enduring source of strength. How do you begin to build this kind of rock-solid inner confidence? It starts with understanding yourself deeply. What are your core values? What truly matters to you? What are your unique strengths and talents? Many people spend their lives chasing external markers of success, only to find themselves feeling empty because those achievements didn't align with their true selves. When you understand your authentic self, you can make choices that resonate with your inner compass, and each such choice strengthens your self-trust and confidence. It's about listening to that quiet voice within, rather than constantly trying to tune into the loud, often contradictory. Another crucial component is competence. Real confidence isn't just wishful thinking, it's built on a foundation of demonstrable ability. As you learn new skills, as you master new challenges, as you successfully navigate complex situations, you accumulate evidence of your own capabilities. Each small victory, each problem solved, each task completed contributes to a growing reservoir of self-belief. This isn't about being perfect. It's about consistently putting in the effort, learning from your mistakes, and seeing tangible progress. The more you prove to yourself that you can learn, adapt, and succeed, the less you will need external reassurance. You'll just know that internal knowing is the hallmark of true confidence. This process also involves embracing your imperfections. No one is flawless. To constantly strive for an idealized version of yourself that is beyond human reach is a recipe for perpetual dissatisfaction and a lack of confidence. Instead, acknowledge your weaknesses, work on improving what you can, and accept what you cannot change. This act of self-acceptance is a powerful foundation for confidence. It means you are not constantly trying to hide or compensate, but rather operating from a place of authenticity and self-compassion. When you are comfortable with who you are, flaws and all, you project an authentic strength that doesn't need external validation. This self-acceptance isn't about complacency. It's about a realistic and grounded understanding of yourself. Furthermore, consider the power of keeping your promises to yourself. When you set a goal, big or small, and then you follow through, you build immense self-trust. Each time you say you're going to do something, and then you actually do it, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I am reliable. I am capable. I can trust myself. Conversely, constantly breaking promises to yourself erodes that trust and weakens your confidence. It's the small, consistent acts of integrity towards yourself that accumulate into a profound sense of inner conviction. This is where true grit is born, where resilience is forged, and where an unshakable belief in your own capacity takes root. The journey to building this inner confidence also requires a degree of courage. The courage to be yourself, even when it's unpopular. The courage to voice your opinions, even when they differ from the crowd. The courage to pursue your own path, even when others doubt you. This isn't about being defiant for the sake of it. but about having the conviction to align your actions with your values, regardless of external pressures. Each time you act with this kind of courage, you reinforce your inner strength and deepen your confidence. You prove to yourself that you are not beholden to the expectations of others, but guided by your own internal compass. In essence, building inner confidence that doesn't rely on approval is about shifting your primary source of validation from the outside world to your internal world. It's about becoming your own most trusted advisor, your own most reliable advocate, and your own most unwavering source of support. It's a process of self-discovery, self-mastery, and self-acceptance that ultimately leads to a profound sense of peace and strength that no external force can ever diminish. When you possess this kind of confidence, you are truly free to pursue your highest potential, unburdened by the need for external affirmation, ready to face any challenge that life throws your way, knowing that your strength comes from within. It's a liberation, a profound empowerment that allows you to live a life of genuine purpose and authentic expression. This is not a destination, but a continuous journey of strengthening your spirit, day by day, choice by choice. All right, now let's talk about something incredibly vital, something that separates those who merely react to life from those who truly shape it: learning to make your own decisions. This might sound straightforward, but you'd be surprised how many people spend their lives allowing others to dictate their choices. Large and small, they defer to parents, partners, friends, even societal expectations, rather than listening to their own internal wisdom. This constant external consultation, this seeking of permission or approval before acting, slowly but surely erodes your sense of self and diminishes your ability to navigate the complexities of your own unique journey. Think about the profound difference between a life lived by choice and a life lived by default. When you make your own decisions, you are actively engaging with your existence. You are analyzing, evaluating, weighing options, and then consciously choosing a path. This active process is not only empowering, but also deeply enriching. It forces you to think critically, to consider consequences, and to truly understand what you want and why you want it. This mental exercise alone strengthens your mind and hones your judgment, not in ways that simply following someone else's lead never can. The habit of deferring decisions to others often comes from a place of fear. Fear of making a mistake, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown outcome. It feels safer to let someone else take the wheel, so that if things go wrong, you have someone else to blame, or at least someone to share the burden with. But what you gain in temporary comfort, you lose in personal growth and authentic living. Every time you allow someone else to make a significant decision for you, you forfeit a precious opportunity to learn about yourself, to test your own judgment, and to build the kind of self-trust that is essential for a truly fulfilling life. Consider the alternative. What happens when you regularly make your own choices, even the small ones? You start to develop a strong internal compass. You learn to trust your instincts, that quiet inner voice that often knows what's best for you. Even when logic might present a different argument, you begin to understand your own preferences, your own boundaries, and your own unique vision for your life. This isn't about being stubborn or refusing advice. It's about processing information from various sources and then ultimately taking personal ownership of the final choice. It's about being the ultimate arbiter of your own destiny, right, not just a passenger in someone else's vehicle. When you consistently make your own decisions, you also develop an incredible sense of personal accountability. You understand that you are responsible for the outcomes, whether they are favorable or challenging. This accountability isn't a burden, It's a powerful motivator. It pushes you to think more carefully, to plan more thoroughly, and to execute with greater commitment. When you know that the buck stops with you, you become far more invested in the process and the results. This investment is what fuels genuine success and profound personal growth. You become a more thoughtful, more intentional individual, someone who truly understands the weight and power of their choices. Moreover, every decision you make, big or small, contributes to the narrative of your life. It shapes who you become. If you constantly let others write your chapters, then your story will ultimately be a reflection of their desires and expectations, not your own. But when you actively choose your own path, when you consciously author your own chapters, your life story becomes a unique and authentic expression of your true self. It's a testament to your courage, your convictions, and your journey. This authentic self-expression is a deep source of personal satisfaction and fulfillment that cannot be replicated by living according to someone else's script. Think about the feeling of regret that can emerge later in life, when people realize they lived according to someone else's rules. That gnawing feeling of what if, or if only I had chosen differently. This regret often stems from a lack of personal agency, from having ceded control over important life choices. By learning to make your own decisions now, you actively inoculate yourself against that future regret. You create a life that is a direct consequence of your own thoughtful choices, but a life that you can look back on with pride and a sense of genuine ownership. This proactive approach to decision-making is a powerful investment in your future peace of mind. So, how do you cultivate this essential skill? Start small. Practice making decisions in less significant areas of your life. What do you want to eat for dinner? What book do you want to read? What movie do you want to watch? Resist the urge to defer to others, even in these minor choices. Then, gradually move to more impactful decisions. Before you seek advice, spend time alone, reflecting on the issue. What does your gut tell you? What aligns with your values? What outcome do you truly desire? Once you have a clear sense of your own perspective, then you can gather information and input from others, but always with the understanding that the final choice rests with you. This isn't about isolating yourself or ignoring wise counsel. It's about building the capacity to synthesize information, listen to different perspectives, and then ultimately arrive at your own conclusion. It's about developing an internal locus of control, a deep-seated belief that you are the primary agent in your own life. Every time you consciously choose your path, you strengthen this muscle of self-determination. And the stronger that muscle becomes, the more confidently and effectively you will navigate all the decisions that life inevitably presents. Embrace the power of your own choices, for in them lies the true architecture of your unique and magnificent life. This unwavering ability to choose for yourself becomes a profound source of personal liberty and self-respect, shaping not just your actions, but the very essence of who you are becoming. Now let's turn our attention to another cornerstone of self-reliance, something that, if cultivated daily, can fundamentally change the trajectory of your life, strengthening your self-discipline every day. This isn't about some grand, monumental act of willpower that you perform once and then you're done. No, self-discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with consistent, deliberate exercise. It's the quiet, internal commitment to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it, even when there are tempting distractions, even when the path ahead seems difficult. Think about the immense power contained within the simple act of following through on your intentions. When you say you're going to get up early, and you do. When you say you're going to work on that project, and you sit down and focus. When you commit to a healthy eating plan, and you stick to it. Each of these small, consistent acts of self-discipline isn't just about achieving a particular task. It's about building an internal reservoir of trust and capability. You are literally teaching yourself that you are reliable, that your word to yourself means something, and that you have the internal fortitude to steer your own actions. Without self-discipline, even the most brilliant ideas and the most ambitious goals remain just that, ideas and goals, never translating into tangible reality. It's the bridge between intention and execution. Imagine having all the architectural blueprints for a magnificent building, but never laying a single brick. That's what life is like without consistent self-discipline. You might have the vision, the talent, the desire, but without the daily application of disciplined effort, the masterpiece remains this consistent application of will. This everyday commitment to your chosen path is the engine that drives all meaningful progress. The lack of self-discipline often stems from a search for instant gratification. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with immediate pleasures and easy distractions. It's tempting to choose the path of least resistance, to indulge in fleeting comforts, to postpone difficult tasks. But every time you yield to these immediate impulses at the expense of your long-term goals, you subtly weaken your self-discipline muscle. You train yourself to prioritize short-term pleasure over enduring achievement. And over time, this habit can lead to significant regrets and unfulfilled potential. Conversely, every time you choose the more challenging path, the path that aligns with your deeper aspirations, you strengthen that muscle. You might not feel immediate pleasure, but you gain something far more valuable, a profound sense of self-respect, a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are in control of your own actions. That feeling, that internal validation, is an incredibly powerful motivator. It's a deep satisfaction that lasts much longer than any fleeting gratification. It's the feeling of genuine self-mastery, the knowledge that you are guiding your own ship rather than being tossed about by the whims of impulse. How do you practically strengthen your self-discipline every day? Start small and be consistent. Don't try to overhaul every aspect of your life overnight. Pick one small area where you want to exert more control. Perhaps it's waking up a few minutes earlier, or spending 6 minutes reading, or dedicating a specific time to planning your day. Commit to this one small discipline and stick to it for a week, then 2, then a month. As you succeed in these smaller commitments, you build momentum and belief in your ability to follow through. This incremental approach is far more sustainable and effective than trying to tackle everything at once and burning out. Another powerful strategy is to create routines and habits. Discipline is often about automating positive behaviors so that they require less conscious effort over time. If you establish a routine for your morning, for your work, for your evening, you reduce the number of daily decisions you have to make, thereby conserving your willpower for more critical choices. This doesn't mean your life becomes rigid and unspontaneous. It means you free up mental energy by systematizing the essential tasks, allowing more space for creativity and intentional action in other areas. It's about building a framework that supports your success, making the disciplined choices the default rather than the exception. Also, be mindful of the environment you create for yourself. Remove distractions that tempt you away from your disciplined efforts. If you need to focus on a task, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and create a dedicated workspace. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep unhealthy snacks readily available. Your environment plays a significant role in either supporting or undermining your self-discipline. By consciously designing your surroundings to encourage positive behaviors, you make it easier to stay on track and reinforce your commitment. Remember, strengthening self-discipline isn't about being harsh on yourself or striving for impossible perfection. It's about continuous, gentle, yet firm effort. It's about picking yourself up when you falter, learning from the slip, and getting back on track immediately. Each time you choose discipline over indulgence, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. And over time, those votes accumulate, creating a powerful, disciplined individual who is capable of achieving extraordinary things. This internal fortitude, this unwavering commitment to your own growth, is an indispensable asset on the journey to true self-reliance. It is the steady hand that guides you through the storms and keeps you moving forward, day after day, towards the life you are destined to create. It builds character, resilience, and an inner strength that is truly remarkable and enduring. Now let's delve into another critical aspect of building a truly self-reliant and meaningful life: creating goals that belong to you, not others. This might seem obvious, but many people spend their lives chasing goals that were subtly or overtly imposed upon them by external forces. They pursue a certain career because their parents expected it, or strive for a particular lifestyle because society dictates it, or chase financial milestones simply because their peers are doing so. And in this pursuit, they often find themselves feeling empty, unfulfilled, and disconnected from their own deepest desires. Think about the feeling of working tirelessly towards something only to achieve it and feel a profound sense of is that all there is. This emptiness often arises when the goal itself wasn't authentically yours to begin with. It was someone else's definition of success, someone else's dream, someone else's measure of worth. When you chase goals that don't genuinely resonate with your inner being, you expend immense energy and time, but you don't experience the deep satisfaction and purpose that comes from fulfilling your own unique vision. It's like climbing a mountain, only to discover it was the wrong mountain all along. Creating goals that truly belong to you starts with a process of profound self-inquiry. It requires you to quiet the external noise and listen intently to your own inner voice. What truly excites you? What problems do you genuinely feel compelled to solve? What kind of contribution do you want to make to the world? What experiences do you crave, not because they look good on a resume or satisfy someone else's expectations, but because they stir your soul? These questions are not always easy to answer, especially if you've spent a long time living according to someone else's script. But the effort to answer them honestly is perhaps the most important work you will ever do. When your goals are authentically yours, they become powerful internal motivators. You don't need external prodding or constant validation to pursue them. The drive comes from within, from a deep passion and commitment. You wake up with a sense of purpose, energized by the prospect of working on something that genuinely matters to you. Challenges become less daunting because your connection to the goal is so strong. Setbacks become opportunities for learning and redirection rather than reasons to give up. This intrinsic motivation is far more sustainable and resilient than any external reward or pressure. Consider the immense joy and satisfaction that comes from achieving a goal that you passionately pursued, one that was born from your own desires and convictions. That feeling is qualitatively different from achieving a goal simply to please others or conform to expectations. It's a deeper, more resonant satisfaction because it affirms your unique identity and validates your authentic path. It's a testament to your courage to listen to yourself and to forge your own way, rather than simply following the well-trodden paths laid out by others. This profound sense of accomplishment is a powerful building block for enduring self-confidence and genuine fulfillment. The process of defining your own goals also strengthens your decision-making abilities. When you are clear about what truly matters to you, it becomes much easier to make choices that align with your long-term vision. You can more easily say no to opportunities that don't serve your authentic goals. And yes to those that do, even if they seem unconventional or less prestigious to others. This clarity and intentionality lead to a more focused and effective allocation of your time, energy, and resources. You stop drifting aimlessly and start navigating with a clear destination in mind, a destination you yourself chose. To truly create your own goals, you might need to challenge some deeply ingrained assumptions or expectations. This can be uncomfortable, as it might involve having honest conversations with loved ones who have different hopes for you, or it might mean deviating from a path that once seemed promising but no longer resonates. This takes courage, but it's a necessary step towards building a life that is authentically yours. The temporary discomfort of realigning your path pales in comparison to the long-term dissatisfaction of living a life that isn't true to yourself. So, how do you begin this journey of identifying your authentic goals? Spend time in quiet reflection. Journal your thoughts. Ask yourself, if I had unlimited resources and no fear of judgment, what would I truly pursue? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? What activities make me feel most alive and engaged? Don't censor your initial thoughts. Allow your true desires to emerge. Then start to articulate these desires into clear, actionable goals. Break them down into smaller steps and begin to take those steps one by one with the unwavering conviction that you are building a life that is uniquely and authentically yours. This is not just about goal setting, it's about soul searching. It's about discovering your purpose, clarifying your values, and then aligning your actions with those fundamental truths. When your goals are born from this deep internal wellspring, they become a powerful force that pulls you forward, inspiring you through every challenge and celebrating every victory. It's about constructing a life that is not only successful by external measures, but also profoundly meaningful and deeply satisfying to your own heart and spirit. This is the path to true personal sovereignty, where your journey is entirely your own, guided by your unique aspirations and powered by your inherent passion. This commitment to self-authored goals becomes a powerful testament to your individuality and your courage to live a life on your own terms. Let's now consider another essential component for true independence and resilience, developing skills that make you independent in a constantly changing world. The most valuable asset you possess isn't just a job title or a degree. It's your ability to acquire, hone, and apply skills that empower you to adapt, create, and contribute regardless of external circumstances. Relying solely on one skill, or worse, relying on skills that are becoming obsolete, puts you in a vulnerable position. True independence comes from having a diverse and evolving skill set that allows you to navigate new challenges and seize emerging opportunities. Think about the feeling of being truly capable, of knowing that you possess the practical abilities to solve problems, to create value, to contribute effectively. There's a deep confidence that comes from this competence. It's the confidence that says, no matter what changes or challenges arise, I have the capacity to learn what's needed and to adapt. This isn't just about professional skills. It extends to life skills, interpersonal skills, and critical thinking abilities. The more skills you cultivate, the more resilient and self-sufficient you become, and the less you have to rely on others for your basic well-being or your professional advancement. The pursuit of developing independent skills is a lifelong journey. The world is not static. What is valuable today might be less so tomorrow. Therefore, a commitment to continuous learning and skill acquisition is paramount. This isn't just about formal education. It's about cultivating a curious mind, a willingness to experiment, and a proactive approach to seeking out new knowledge and practical abilities. It's about being a perpetual student of life, always looking for ways to expand your toolkit and enhance your capacity to navigate the world effectively. This active engagement with learning keeps you agile and adaptable, preventing you from becoming stagnant or obsolete. Consider the immense sense of freedom that comes from knowing you can stand on your own 2 feet professionally. And if your job suddenly disappears, do you have transferable skills or the ability to quickly learn new ones that would allow you to pivot and create new opportunities? If a personal challenge arises, do you have the resourcefulness and the practical know-how to address it effectively? These are the questions that underscore the importance of skill development for independence. It's not just about what you know, but what you can do and how quickly you can learn to do new things. Developing independent skills also empowers you to create your own opportunities, rather than waiting for them to be handed to you. Instead of solely relying on the job market to provide you with employment, you might develop skills that allow you to start your own venture, offer freelance services, or develop innovative solutions. This entrepreneurial mindset, fueled by a diverse skill set, is a powerful antidote to dependency. It transforms you from a job seeker into a job creator, from a recipient of opportunities into a generator of possibilities. This shift in perspective is truly liberating and allows for a greater degree of control over your economic destiny. So, how do you actively go about developing skills that foster independence? Start by assessing your current strengths and weaknesses. What are you already good at? How can you deepen those strengths? What areas do you need to improve to become more self-reliant? Then identify skills that are broadly applicable and valuable across various contexts. These might include problem solving, effective communication, critical thinking, financial literacy, basic digital skills, or even practical home maintenance. These are the foundational abilities that empower you in almost any situation. Next, make a conscious commitment to learning and practice. This isn't about simply wishing you had new skills. It's about dedicating time and effort to acquiring them. Read books, take online courses, seek out mentors, practice consistently. The key is consistent, deliberate practice. You don't become proficient at something overnight. It requires sustained effort and a willingness to push through the initial awkwardness and difficulty. Each hour invested in skill development is an investment in your future independence and security. This deliberate effort is what separates those who talk about becoming skilled from those who actually do. Furthermore, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. The most valuable skills are often acquired when you challenge yourself and embrace new experiences. Take on projects that stretch your abilities. Volunteer for roles that require you to learn new things. Seek out opportunities to apply your newly acquired skills in real-world scenarios. This hands-on application is crucial for solidifying your learning and transforming theoretical knowledge into practical competence. The more you put your skills to the test, the more robust and reliable they become. In essence, developing skills that make you independent is about investing in yourself. It's about building a versatile toolkit that allows you to adapt to any situation, to create your own value, and to chart your own course with confidence and capability. It's about cultivating a mindset of continuous growth and self-improvement, recognizing that your greatest asset is your ability to learn and evolve. When you are truly skilled, you are truly free, free from excessive reliance on others, free to pursue your passions, and free to build a life of purpose and profound self-sufficiency. This ongoing commitment to self-enhancement is the ultimate expression of personal empowerment and lasting success. Let's now turn our attention to another powerful cornerstone of self-reliance, one that truly differentiates individuals who achieve their potential from those who merely dream, building a strong work ethic that carries you forward. This isn't just about putting in long hours. It's about a deep-seated commitment to consistent, focused effort, a relentless drive to do what needs to be done, and an understanding that results are a direct consequence of your diligent application. A strong work ethic is your internal engine, propelling you through challenges, overcoming obstacles, and ensuring that your aspirations translate into tangible accomplishments. Think about the profound sense of pride and accomplishment that comes from knowing you've given your absolute best, that you've poured your effort and focus into a task. That feeling is far more enduring and satisfying than any fleeting shortcut or quick fix. A strong work ethic means showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It means pushing through discomfort and resistance. It means maintaining your focus when distractions abound. It is the unwavering commitment to the process, understanding that every small, consistent effort compounds over time into significant results. Without this steady, diligent, even the most brilliant ideas and the most inspiring visions will remain just that, unrealized potential. The absence of a strong work ethic often manifests as procrastination, missed deadlines, superficial efforts, and ultimately unfulfilled dreams. It's easy to get caught in the trap of wanting results without being willing to put in the necessary effort. But life and true success simply doesn't operate that way. There is an undeniable correlation between diligent, consistent effort and meaningful achievement. Those who consistently produce exceptional results are almost invariably those who possess a profound dedication to their work, a relentless pursuit of excellence that guides their every action. Consider the immense personal growth that occurs when you cultivate a robust work ethic. You develop patience, perseverance, and resilience. You learn the value of delayed gratification, understanding that sacrificing immediate comfort for long-term gain is a worthwhile exchange. You become more disciplined, more focused, and more effective in everything you do. This isn't just about professional advancement. It's about building character, about forging an inner strength that serves you in all areas of your life. The habits you cultivate through hard work in one area inevitably spill over and enhance your performance in others. Building a strong work ethic also fosters a deep sense of personal responsibility. When you commit to a task, you understand that its successful completion rests squarely on your shoulders. You don't make excuses, you find solutions. You don't complain about difficulties, you figure out how to overcome them. Now, this unwavering commitment to seeing things through transforms you into a reliable, dependable individual, someone who can be counted on to deliver. This reputation for diligence and integrity is invaluable, both in your professional life and in your personal relationships. So, how do you actively cultivate and strengthen this indispensable work ethic? It starts with clarity of purpose. When you understand why you are working hard, what values you are upholding, what goals you are pursuing, what impact you want to make, that clarity becomes a powerful fuel for your effort. Connect your daily tasks, no matter how small, to your larger vision. When you see the direct link between your efforts today and your aspirations for tomorrow, it becomes much easier to maintain your focus and dedication. This emotional connection transforms mundane tasks into meaningful contributions towards your greater purpose. Next, focus on consistency over intensity, especially in the beginning. It's better to put in a consistent hour of focused effort every day than not to attempt an exhausting zero-hour sprint once a week and then burn out. Small daily efforts consistently create momentum and build habits that are far more sustainable and effective in the long run. Establish routines that support your work ethic. Designate specific times and spaces for focused work and protect those boundaries. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day, just like eating or sleeping. Another key is to eliminate distractions and cultivate deep focus. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to be constantly pulled in different directions. A strong work ethic requires the ability to concentrate intensely on one task at a time, to dive deep into your work without allowing interruptions to derail your flow. Practice single tasking, turn off notifications, create an environment that supports uninterrupted concentration. The quality of your effort, not just the quantity, is profoundly impacted by your ability to focus without fragmentation. Moreover, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, not reasons to quit. When things get difficult, and they inevitably will, view them as tests of your resolve. A strong work ethic isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about confronting it head-on, learning from it, and emerging stronger on the other side. This resilience in the face of adversity is a hallmark of individuals with an exceptional work ethic. They don't just work hard when things are easy, they work even harder when the path becomes steep. Finally, celebrate your efforts and acknowledge your progress. While the ultimate reward is achieving your goals, it's also important to recognize the consistent effort you put in along the way. Acknowledge the small victories, the times you pushed through when you wanted to quit, the days you showed up with unwavering dedication. This positive reinforcement strengthens your resolve and motivates you to continue, building that powerful work ethic that will carry you forward day after day through every challenge and toward every triumph. It is your most reliable ally in the pursuit of genuine self-reliance and lasting success. This inner drive, once firmly established, becomes a source of boundless energy, allowing you to consistently outperform and outlast those who merely dabble in their efforts. Let's now pivot to a concept that is deeply intertwined with dock in the rudder, a strong work ethic, and essential for true self-reliance. Learning to motivate yourself without external push. Many people operate on an external reward system. They need a boss's praise, a looming deadline, a promotion, or the fear of negative consequences to spur them into action. While these external factors can certainly provide temporary boosts, true, sustainable motivation, the kind that empowers you to keep going when no one is watching, comes from within, the internal flame. The quiet determination that propels you forward even in the absence of external validation or pressure. Think about the fragility of motivation that is solely dependent on outside forces. What happens when the boss isn't around? What happens when the praise stops? What happens when the deadline is far off or the fear of consequence is no longer imminent? If your motivation is only external, your drive will ebb and flow with these shifting circumstances, leaving you unconsidered off a stall. This creates a cycle of dependency, where your ability to act is perpetually linked to variables outside your control. True self-reliance demands a deeper, more resilient source of internal drive. Learning to motivate yourself means cultivating an internal wellspring of purpose and passion. It means connecting your daily actions to your deepest values and your most meaningful long-term goals. When you understand the profound why behind what you're doing, the how becomes much easier. The intrinsic satisfaction of making progress on something that truly matters to you becomes the most powerful fuel for your efforts. This inner drive is far more potent and sustainable than any external incentive because it springs from the core of who you are and what you genuinely desire to achieve. Consider the energy drain of constantly needing external prodding. It's like a car that always needs to be jump-started by another vehicle. Imagine the freedom and efficiency of a car that starts reliably on its own every time. That's the difference between external and internal motivation. When you can consistently motivate yourself, you conserve immense mental and emotional energy. You don't waste time procrastinating or waiting for someone else to light a fire under you. You become proactive, self-starting, and incredibly effective at transforming your intentions into reality. This internal motivation also fosters a greater sense of autonomy and control over your life. You are no longer a puppet on strings, dancing to the tune of external rewards or punishments. You become the conductor of your own orchestra, choosing your own tempo and composition. This autonomy is deeply empowering and contributes significantly to your overall sense of well-being and satisfaction. It's the feeling of genuine agency, knowing that your actions are driven by your own volition, not by external demand. So, how do you actively cultivate this vital skill of self-motivation? It begins with self-awareness. What truly inspires you? What genuinely excites your spirit? What tasks, when completed, leave you with a deep sense of satisfaction, regardless of external recognition? Identify these internal drivers, and then consciously build your activities and goals around them. When you align your efforts with your passions, motivation becomes less about forcing yourself to do something and more about enthusiastically engaging in what you genuinely want to achieve. Next, break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. Overwhelming goals can be demotivating, making it difficult to even start. But when you break them down, each small step becomes an achievable win. And each win, no matter how minor, generates a surge of internal momentum and positive reinforcement. This sense of incremental progress is a powerful internal motivator, encouraging you to keep going and to tackle the next step. It's about building a ladder to your aspirations, one rung at a time, each successful climb fueling the next. Another powerful technique is to visualize your success. Spend time each day vividly imagining yourself achieving your goals, experiencing the feelings of accomplishment and satisfaction. Engage all your senses in this mental rehearsal. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a powerful way to program your subconscious mind for success and to strengthen your emotional connection to your objectives. When you can clearly see and feel your future success, your internal drive to make it a reality becomes incredibly strong. It creates a compelling inner picture that pulls you forward even when the path is challenging. Furthermore, cultivate a positive internal dialogue. The words you use to speak to yourself have a profound impact on your motivation. Replace self-doubt and criticism with encouragement and belief. When you face a setback, instead of dwelling on failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? Your inner coach should be your greatest cheerleader, not your harshest critic. This positive self-talk builds resilience and fuels your internal drive to keep moving forward. Even when external circumstances are less than ideal. In essence, learning to motivate yourself without external push is about becoming your own most effective leader, your own most consistent source of. It's about building an internal engine that runs on purpose, passion, and a profound belief in your own capacity to achieve. When you master this skill, you become unstoppable, capable of navigating any challenge, pursuing any dream, and building a life of extraordinary self-reliance and genuine fulfillment. This internal fire, once ignited, will burn brightly, guiding your path and illuminating your journey, regardless of external conditions. It is the ultimate expression of personal power and enduring spirit. Now, let's explore a truly fundamental skill for living a life of purpose and avoiding unnecessary distractions and regrets. Mastering the art of self-control. This isn't about rigid self-deprivation. It's about making conscious, deliberate choices that align with your long-term values and goals, rather than simply reacting to every fleeting impulse or immediate desire. Self-control is the inner governor, the quiet strength that allows you to pause, reflect, and choose the higher path, even when the lower, easier path is incredibly tempting. It is the bedrock upon which all other forms of self-reliance are built. Think about the countless times we're presented with choices that pit immediate gratification against long-term well-being. The extra slice of cake versus consistent health. The hour spent scrolling social media versus an hour spent working on a meaningful project. The impulsive purchase versus saving for a significant investment. In each of these moments, self-control is the ability to choose the path that serves your deeper aspirations, even if it requires a temporary sacrifice of comfort or pleasure. Without this capacity, our lives can become a series of reactive decisions, leaving us adrift and often far from where we truly want to be. The lack of self-control often leads to a sense of powerlessness, a feeling that you are constantly at the mercy of your own impulses or external temptations. It can manifest as chronic procrastination, overspending, unhealthy habits, or an inability to focus on important tasks. This constant yielding to immediate desires erodes self-trust and prevents you from building momentum towards your goals. You become a passive observer of your own life rather than an active participant shaping its direction. This state of constant reaction leaves you feeling depleted and often regretful. Conversely, mastering self-control liberates you. It gives you an incredible sense of agency and empowerment. When you can consciously choose your actions, when you can resist impulses that don't serve you, you gain a profound sense of mastery over yourself and your environment. This isn't about being perfect. It's about consistently making the effort to align your choices with your values. Each time you exercise self-control, you reinforce your inner strength, building a powerful muscle of self-discipline that serves you in every aspect of your life. This internal strength becomes your most reliable ally against the constant barrage of distractions and temptations. Consider the immense benefits of consistent self-control. Financially, it allows you to save, invest, and build wealth rather than succumbing to impulsive spending. Professionally, it enables you to focus on important tasks, meet deadlines, and produce high-quality work, even when motivation fluctuates. Physically, it helps you maintain healthy habits, resist unhealthy cravings, and prioritize your well-being. Emotionally, it allows you to manage your reactions, respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively, and maintain composure in challenging situations. Self-control is a versatile skill that enhances every single facet of your existence. So, how do you actively cultivate and strengthen this vital art of self-control? It begins with awareness. Pay close attention to your triggers and impulses. What situations or emotions tend to lead you to make choices that you later regret? Is it stress, boredom, fatigue? Understanding these patterns is the first step towards interrupting them. When you can identify the precise moment an impulse arises, you create a tiny window of opportunity to intervene and make a conscious choice. This self-awareness is your first line of defense against reactive living. Next, practice delaying gratification. Start with small, manageable delays. If you have an urge to immediately check your phone, try waiting for 5 minutes. If you want to indulge in an unhealthy snack, try waiting for 10 minutes and see if the craving passes. Each successful delay strengthens your self-control muscle. This isn't about never enjoying anything. It's about building the capacity to choose when and how you engage with pleasures, ensuring they serve your long-term well-being rather than sabotaging it. This deliberate practice teaches your mind that immediate desires do not always need immediate satisfaction. Another powerful technique is to create an environment that supports your goals and minimizes temptation. Just as we discussed with work ethic, if you want to eat healthier, Remove unhealthy foods from your home. If you want to focus more, turn off notifications and minimize distractions. Your environment can either make self-control incredibly difficult or significantly easier. By consciously designing your surroundings, you reduce the sheer willpower required to make good choices, making self-control a more effortless and natural part of your daily routine. Yeah. This thoughtful preparation is a critical aspect of mastering your inner world. Furthermore, practice mindful pausing. Before you act on an impulse, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, does this action align with my values? Does it serve my long-term goals? What are the potential consequences? This brief pause, this moment of intentional reflection, can create the space needed to choose wisely rather than react blindly. It's a simple yet incredibly powerful technique that allows your rational mind to engage before your impulses take over. This conscious interjection transforms you from a slave to impulse into a master of your choices. Finally, remember that self-control is not about perfection. You will inevitably make mistakes or succumb to temptation at times. The key is not to dwell in self-recrimination, but to practice self-compassion. Learn from the experience and immediately get back on track. Each setback is an opportunity to refine your strategies and strengthen your resolve. Mastering self-control is a lifelong journey of continuous learning and incremental improvement. It's about consistently striving to make choices that serve your highest self, knowing that each deliberate choice brings you closer to the life of purpose, independence, and profound fulfillment you truly desire. This ongoing commitment to governing your inner world is the ultimate expression of personal freedom and genuine leadership over your own life. Let's shift our focus to an insidious habit that silently undermines confidence and steals joy: stopping comparison to others. In our modern world, we are constantly bombarded with curated images of other people's lives, their successes, their possessions, their perceived happiness. It's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of measuring your own journey, your own achievements, and your own worth against these external benchmarks. But this habit of comparison is a thief of joy, a destroyer of peace, and a significant impediment to building genuine self-reliance. Think about the endless cycle of comparison. You see someone's highlight reel, and suddenly your own behind-the-scenes struggles feel inadequate. You observe someone else's perceived success, and your own progress seems too slow, too small, or simply not good enough. This constant external grading of your life leads to chronic dissatisfaction. You are always chasing a moving target, always feeling like you come up short, because there will always be someone who appears to have more, do more, or be more, according to external metrics. This is a path to perpetual frustration and a profound sense of never being enough. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that you are comparing your entire complex, often messy reality to a carefully constructed facade. You see their finished product, not their struggles, their failures, their sleepless nights, or the unique advantages and disadvantages they've faced. You are comparing apples to oranges and then getting upset that your apple isn't an orange. Each individual's journey is uniquely their own, shaped by a distinct set of circumstances, talents, challenges, and opportunities. To measure your own singular path against another's is an act of profound injustice to yourself. Stopping comparison frees up an immense amount of mental and emotional energy. Imagine the mental space that becomes available when you are no longer constantly scanning the horizon for external benchmarks. That energy can then be redirected inward towards your own growth, your own goals, and your own unique contributions. Instead of wishing you were someone else or had what someone else has, You can focus on becoming the best version of yourself, on developing your own talents, and on living a life that is authentically aligned with your own values and aspirations. This internal focus is where true progress and genuine contentment reside. When you stop comparing, you also cultivate a deeper appreciation for your own unique journey. You begin to recognize your own strengths, your own resilience, and your own hard-won achievements, independent of how they stack up against anyone else's. You understand that your worth is not determined by external metrics or by how you measure up to others, but by your inherent value as an individual and by the integrity of your own efforts. This self-acceptance is a powerful antidote to external pressures and a cornerstone of genuine self-confidence. So, how do you actively break free from the pervasive habit of comparison? It starts with mindful awareness. Catch yourself in the act. When you feel that familiar pang of envy or inadequacy arise after seeing someone else's success, pause. Recognize that feeling for what it is, a signal that you are engaging in comparison. Then, gently redirect your focus. Remind yourself that their journey is not yours, and that your path is unique and valuable in its own right. This conscious redirection is a critical first step towards breaking the cycle. Next, shift your focus from external comparison to internal progress. Instead of asking, "Am I better than them?" ask, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" Measure your growth against your own past self, against your own goals, and against your own potential. Celebrate your personal victories, no matter how small, and acknowledge the steps you've taken on your own path. This internal standard of measurement is far more empowering and motivating because it is entirely within your control and always relevant to your unique journey. Your only true competition is the person you were yesterday. Another powerful technique is to cultivate gratitude for your own life. When you regularly appreciate what you have, your health, your relationships, your opportunities, your unique talents, it becomes much harder to feel envious of what others possess. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, from external longing to internal richness. This practice reorients your mind towards appreciation for your own circumstances, rather than a constant desire for what others have. It grounds you in your present reality, allowing you to find contentment in your own journey. Furthermore, consciously limit your exposure to content that triggers comparison. If certain social media feeds or publications consistently leave you feeling inadequate, take a break or unfollow them. Protect your mental space and curate your informational diet to be one that inspires and empowers you, rather than one that constantly makes you feel less than. You have control over what you allow into your mind, and exercising that control is a vital act of self-care and self-preservation in the age of constant external display. In essence, stopping comparison to others is a liberating act of self-love and self-respect. It's about recognizing the inherent value of your own unique journey, celebrating your own progress, and focusing your energy on becoming the best version of you, rather than a pale imitation of someone else. When you free yourself from this detrimental habit, you unlock a profound sense of peace, a deeper well of confidence, and an unshakable resolve to walk your own path with grace, authenticity, and unwavering self-reliance. This is the ultimate freedom, the freedom to be truly and unapologetically yourself. It allows you to build a life rich in personal meaning, rather than one defined by the fleeting opinions and achievements of others. Let's now talk about a vital internal compass that, once honed, can guide you through the most complex decisions and turbulent times, trusting your own judgment and instincts. In a world full of advice, opinions, and external pressures, it's incredibly easy to become disconnected from your inner wisdom. Many people find themselves constantly seeking external validation, polling others, or endlessly researching, rather than tuning into that quiet, often subtle voice within themselves that often knows the right path. Learning to trust yourself is not just a skill, it's an act of profound self-respect and a cornerstone of genuine self-reliance. Think about those moments when you had a strong gut feeling about something, a person, a decision, a direction, and you either followed it and were validated or ignored it and later regretted it. Those are instances where your intuition was speaking to you, drawing on your accumulated experiences, your values, and your subconscious understanding of a situation. When you consistently override that inner voice in favor of external opinions, you slowly erode your ability to hear it, and you undermine your self-trust. You essentially tell yourself that others know better than you do, which is a dangerous path to walk when it comes to your own unique life. The lack of trust in one's own judgment often stems from a fear of making mistakes or a fear of being wrong. It feels safer to rely on the perceived wisdom of others so that if things go awry, the responsibility is diffused. But remember, every mistake is a powerful learning opportunity. Every time you make a decision, own the outcome and learn from it. You refine your judgment and strengthen your internal compass. Conversely, consistently deferring to others means you miss out on these invaluable learning experiences and remain perpetually dependent on external guidance. Trusting your own judgment doesn't mean you ignore all external input or become arrogant in your decisions. Far from it. It means you gather information, you listen to different perspectives, you consider various points of view, and then you process all of that through your own internal filter. You weigh it against your values, your experiences, and your gut feeling. The final decision, however, belongs to you. This synthesis of external data with internal wisdom is the hallmark of truly effective decision-making and a mature, self-reliant individual. Consider the immense clarity and peace of mind that comes from White, knowing you've made a decision that feels right to you, one that resonates with your core being. This internal alignment is a powerful feeling. It's a deep sense of conviction that sustains you through any challenges that may arise from that decision. You own it completely, and therefore you are fully invested in making it work. This is a far cry from the anxious uncertainty that often accompanies decisions made primarily to please others or conform to external expectations. So, how do you actively cultivate and strengthen your ability to trust your own judgment and instincts? It starts with quiet reflection. Create space in your day for solitude, for moments of introspection. In this quiet, you can begin to hear your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own inner promptings. Journaling can be a powerful tool here, allowing you to articulate your internal landscape without external interruption or judgment. The more you connect with your inner voice, the clearer it becomes. Next, practice listening to your gut feelings in small, low-stakes situations. When faced with a minor choice, pause and notice your immediate intuitive response. Then, act on it. Observe the outcome. Did it feel right? Did it lead you in a good direction? Each time you consciously acknowledge and act on your intuition, you strengthen that connection and build confidence in its reliability. This deliberate practice teaches you to distinguish between genuine intuition and mere impulse or anxiety. Another key is to review your past decisions, particularly those where you either followed or ignored your instincts. What were the outcomes? What did you learn? This retrospective analysis can provide powerful evidence of the reliability of your inner wisdom. When you see a pattern of positive outcomes from following your gut or negative outcomes from ignoring it, it reinforces your trust in that internal guide. This data-driven approach, based on your own life experiences, is incredibly compelling. Furthermore, consciously reduce your reliance on external validation for every decision. Before you ask for an opinion, try to form your own first. Articulate your own perspective, even if it's just to yourself. This practice forces you to engage your own judgment before being swayed by others. It builds the habit of internal consultation first, external input second. It empowers you to take ownership of your thoughts and beliefs before presenting them for external critique. In essence, trusting your own judgment and instincts is about reclaiming your personal authority. It's about recognizing that you are the expert on your own life and that your internal wisdom is an invaluable guide. It's about developing a profound belief in your own capacity to not navigate the complexities of your journey with discernment and conviction. When you master this art, you become truly self-reliant, capable of making authentic choices that lead you towards a life of purpose, meaning, and deep personal satisfaction, unswayed by the shifting winds of external opinion. This unwavering self-trust is a profound source of inner peace and an undeniable mark of true personal power. Let's now address a common human tendency that, if left unchecked, can drain your energy and prevent you from taking effective action. Learning to handle problems without complaining. It's easy to fall into the habit of vocalizing every frustration, every setback, every difficulty. While there's a place for expressing emotions and seeking support, chronic complaining is a debilitating cycle that keeps you stuck in a victim mentality, deflecting responsibility and hindering your ability to find solutions. True self-reliance means developing the inner fortitude to confront challenges head-on with a solution-oriented mindset rather than simply lamenting their existence. Think about the difference between someone who identifies a problem and immediately starts to brainstorm solutions, and someone who identifies a problem and then spends hours or days dwelling on its unfairness, its difficulty, or who is to blame. The former is proactive, empowered, and moving forward. The latter is stuck, draining their own energy and often the energy of those around them. Complaining, in its habitual form, is often an indirect plea for rescue, a subtle way of inviting others to solve your problems for you. But true strength lies in addressing challenges from a place of personal agency. The problem with constant complaining is that it keeps your focus on what's wrong rather than on what's possible. It reinforces a negative mindset, making problems seem larger and more insurmountable than they actually are. It prevents you from engaging your creativity and resourcefulness. Moreover, it can be contagious, affecting the morale of your colleagues, friends, and family. People are generally drawn to solutions and positive energy, not to chronic negativity. Complaining might offer a temporary emotional release, but it rarely, if ever, leads to meaningful progress or resolution. Conversely, learning to handle problems without complaining liberates an immense amount of mental and emotional energy. When you shift your focus from lamenting to strategizing, you engage a different part of your brain, the part that is analytical, creative, and problem-solving. This empowers you to take decisive action, to look for opportunities within challenges, and to transform obstacles into stepping stones. It cultivates a resilient mindset, one that views setbacks not as insurmountable barriers, but as valuable tests and opportunities for growth. This proactive approach transforms you into a powerful force for positive change in your own life. Consider the immense respect and admiration that is garnered by not individuals who face adversity with grace and a solution-oriented attitude. They don't shy away from difficulties. They confront them with courage and a determination to find a way forward. This stoic resilience is not about suppressing emotions. It's about channeling them constructively. It's about acknowledging the difficulty, allowing yourself a moment to feel it, and then quickly pivoting to what's next. What can I do? This approach fosters a reputation for capability, leadership, and an unshakable resolve. So, how do you actively cultivate this essential skill of handling problems without complaining? It starts with a conscious commitment to catch yourself. When you feel the urge to complain, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this complaint moving me closer to a solution or simply draining my energy? This moment of self-awareness is crucial for interrupting the habitual pattern. If the complaint doesn't contribute to a solution, make a conscious choice to reframe your internal dialogue. Next, shift your internal monologue from "why is this happening to me?" to "what can I do about this?" This simple reframing instantly moves you from a victim mindset to an empowered, proactive one. Instead of dwelling on the problem, immediately pivot to identifying potential solutions, however small. Brainstorm possibilities. Seek information. Take action, even if it's just a tiny first step. The act of taking action, no matter how minor, breaks the cycle of passive lamentation and creates a sense of forward momentum. Another powerful technique is to practice gratitude, even in the midst of challenges. When you find yourself complaining, consciously find something, however small, to be grateful for in that moment. This doesn't negate the problem, but it shifts your perspective and prevents you from getting completely consumed by negativity. It reminds you that even in difficulty, there are still elements of your life that are positive, creating a more balanced and resilient emotional state. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to the corrosive effects of chronic complaining. Furthermore, develop a problem-solving routine. When a challenge arises, don't just react emotionally. Instead, systematically analyze the situation. What exactly is the problem? What are the facts? What resources do I have available? What are the potential solutions? What is the best first step? This structured approach to problem solving replaces impulsive complaining with deliberate, effective action. It trains your mind to immediately seek resolution rather than dwelling in negativity. In essence, learning to handle problems without complaining is a profound act of self-mastery and a cornerstone of genuine self-reliance. It's about taking full ownership of your challenges, engaging your resourcefulness, and cultivating a mindset that is consistently oriented towards solutions and growth. When you master this skill, you become an incredibly powerful and effective individual, capable of navigating any storm, turning adversity into opportunity, and building a life defined by resilience, accomplishment, and an unwavering sense of personal agency. This quiet strength in the face of difficulty is a testament to your character and your ultimate capacity to thrive. Let's move on to an incredibly powerful habit that can dramatically expand your potential and fuel your journey towards self-reliance, making reading and learning a daily habit. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, constantly doing, constantly reacting. But without intentionally pausing to replenish your mind, to absorb new ideas, to learn from the wisdom of others, you risk stagnation. Reading and continuous learning are not luxuries. They are essential investments in your intellectual capital, your problem-solving abilities, and your capacity to adapt and thrive. Think about the profound difference between someone whose mind is constantly being fed new information and perspectives, and someone whose mental diet is limited to routine tasks and fleeting entertainment. The former is continuously expanding their understanding of the world, developing new insights, and sharpening their mental faculties. The latter risks operating from an increasingly narrow and outdated knowledge base. Reading is like having a direct line to the greatest minds, the most profound thinkers, and the most valuable experiences throughout history and across disciplines. It allows you to leverage the accumulated wisdom of humanity for your own growth. The absence of a daily learning habit often leads to intellectual complacency. You might feel you already know enough, or that learning is something reserved for formal education. But the world is constantly evolving, and what was considered cutting edge yesterday might be commonplace or even obsolete tomorrow. If you stop learning, you stop growing. And if you stop growing, you slowly begin to fall behind, losing your edge and diminishing your capacity to adapt to new challenges and seize new opportunities. This intellectual stagnation is a significant barrier to sustained self-reliance. Conversely, making reading and learning a daily habit provides a continuous source of inspiration, new ideas, and practical knowledge. It equips you with better tools for problem solving, enhances your critical thinking skills, and broadens your perspective. The more you learn, the more connections you can make between seemingly disparate ideas, leading to innovative solutions and creative breakthroughs. It's like continuously upgrading your internal operating system, making you more efficient, more capable, and more effective in every area of your life. This consistent input of knowledge fuels your personal and professional evolution. Consider the compounding effect of daily learning. Just Shiru Sanders minutes of focused reading, each day consistently applied, can amount to dozens of books over a year. Imagine the transformative power of absorbing that much knowledge and those many new perspectives. This isn't about speed reading or memorization, rather about hot bind reading or memorization. It's about thoughtful engagement with ideas, about allowing new concepts to challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding. This consistent intellectual nourishment is what fuels real, sustainable growth and innovation in your life. So, how do you actively cultivate this indispensable habit of daily reading and learning? It starts with intentionality. Make a conscious decision to dedicate a specific amount of time each day, no matter how small, to learning. This could be reading a chapter of a book, listening to an educational podcast, watching a documentary, or taking an online course. Treat this time as a non-negotiable appointment with yourself, an essential investment in your future. Even just Shiru minutes consistently applied can create a profound difference over time. Next, curate your learning materials strategically. Don't just read anything. Choose content that aligns with your goals, interests, and areas where you want to grow. Are you looking to improve your leadership skills? Read books on leadership. Do you want to understand economics better? Find resources on economics. Do you want to cultivate a specific mindset? Seek out authors and thinkers who embody that perspective. By being deliberate about what you consume, you maximize the impact of your learning efforts and ensure that your intellectual diet is nourishing and relevant. Another powerful technique is to actively engage with what you're learning. Don't just passively consume information. Take notes, highlight key passages, reflect on what you've read, discuss new ideas with others. Try to apply what you've learned to your own life and challenges. The act of active engagement deepens your understanding, strengthens your retention, and transforms raw information into usable knowledge and wisdom. This transformation from passive intake to active application is where true learning occurs. Furthermore, make learning a joyful and natural part of your life, not a chore. Explore topics that genuinely fascinate you. Allow your curiosity to lead you down new paths. The more enjoyable you make the learning process, the more likely you are to sustain it as a daily habit. Remember, learning isn't just about gaining information. It's about expanding your mind, fostering creativity, and enriching your experience of the world. Embrace it as an adventure, a continuous journey of discovery that adds immense value to your existence. In essence, Making reading and learning a daily habit is about taking proactive ownership of your intellectual growth and ensuring that you are continuously evolving. It's about equipping yourself with the knowledge, the insights, and the perspectives needed to navigate a complex world with confidence and capability. When you prioritize daily learning, you become an incredibly adaptable, resourceful, and insightful individual, perpetually prepared for whatever challenges and opportunities life presents. This consistent cultivation of your mind is a hallmark of true self-reliance and diet, an indispensable pathway to a life of sustained growth and profound personal mastery. It creates an internal wellspring of ideas and solutions, making you a perpetual student and master of your own destiny. Now, let's discuss an often overlooked but incredibly powerful element for maintaining progress and achieving your goals: building a system that keeps you accountable. Many people rely solely on willpower or external pressure to stay on track, but these can be inconsistent and unreliable. A robust design provides the structure and feedback loops necessary to ensure you consistently follow through on your commitments, even when motivation wanes or distractions arise. It transforms fleeting intentions into consistent actions, making self-reliance not just a desire, but a tangible reality. Think about the difference between a New Year's resolution that fades by February and a well-planned project with clear milestones and regular check-ins. The latter has a built-in mechanism for accountability. Without a system, it's easy for good intentions to get lost in the shuffle of daily life. You might want to exercise daily or intend to work on your side project, but without a clear system to track your progress and hold yourself responsible, these aspirations often remain unfulfilled. A system provides the framework, the gentle nudge, and the clear feedback that keeps you moving forward, day after day. The lack of an accountability system often leads to inconsistency and ultimately to feelings of frustration and unfulfilled potential. You might experience bursts of intense effort followed by periods of stagnation simply because there's no consistent structure to maintain momentum. This sporadic approach rarely leads to significant, lasting results. It also erodes self-trust as you repeatedly make commitments to yourself that you then fail to uphold. This cycle can be incredibly damaging to your confidence and your belief in your own capacity to achieve. Conversely, building a strong accountability system empowers you with clarity, consistency, and a profound sense of forward momentum. It clarifies what you need to do, when you need to do it, and whether you are actually doing it. This objective feedback allows you to adjust your strategies, identify bottlenecks, and celebrate your progress, all of which fuel further action. It takes the guesswork out of progress and replaces it with a predictable, reliable framework for consistent achievement. This structured approach allows you to achieve far more with less wasted effort and mental energy. Consider the psychological impact of seeing your progress visually or knowing that you have a check-in point. It provides a powerful internal and sometimes external motivator. A simple habit tracker, a weekly review session, or a regular report to a trusted mentor can create a powerful impetus to stay on course. It's not about being judged. It's about being honest with yourself and ensuring that your actions align with your stated intentions. This transparency, even if only to yourself, fosters a deeper level of commitment and personal ownership. So, how do you actively go about building an effective accountability system? It starts with defining your goals clearly and specifically. What exactly do you want to achieve? Measurable outcomes. What are the specific actions you need to take each day or week to move closer to that goal? Vague aspirations are almost impossible to hold yourself accountable for. Clarity is the first and most crucial step in any effective system. Break your larger goals into smaller, actionable steps that can be easily tracked. bets. Next, choose a method for tracking your progress. This could be a simple written log, a digital spreadsheet, a habit tracking app, or a visual chart. The key is to make it easy to use and consistently visible. Seeing your progress, marking off completed tasks, or logging your efforts provides immediate positive reinforcement and helps you maintain momentum. This visual feedback loop is incredibly powerful for reinforcing positive behaviors and keeping you focused on your consistent efforts. Another powerful component is establishing regular review sessions. Set aside dedicated time each week or month to review your progress. Assess what worked and what didn't, and plan for the next period. This isn't about beating yourself up for shortcomings, but about learning and adapting. What lessons can you draw from the past week? What adjustments do you need to make to your strategy? This systematic review process ensures that your efforts remain aligned with your goals and that you are continuously optimizing your approach. Furthermore, consider incorporating a layer of social accountability, if appropriate and beneficial. This could involve sharing your goals and progress with a trusted friend, a mentor, a coach, or even a small group of like-minded individuals. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments can provide an extra layer of motivation to follow through. This doesn't mean relying on them to push you, but rather leveraging their awareness to strengthen your own internal commitment. Choose individuals who are supportive and genuinely invested in your growth, not those who will judge or criticize. Note, in essence, building a system that keeps you accountable is about creating structure and clarity around your intentions, transforming them into consistent, measurable actions. It's about designing your environment and your processes to support your highest aspirations, leaving your progress to chance. When you master the art of self-accountability, you become incredibly effective at achieving your goals, building a profound sense of self-trust and demonstrating true self-reliance. This systematic approach to personal growth ensures that your journey is not just a series of hopes, but a continuous trajectory of deliberate progress and meaningful accomplishment. It's the framework that turns dreams into reality, steadily and surely. Let's now address a profound and liberating aspect of genuine self-reliance, staying true to your values even when alone. In today's world, there's immense pressure to conform, to go along with the crowd, to compromise your principles to fit in or gain acceptance. But true strength, true integrity, and true self-respect come from an unshakable commitment to your core values, regardless of whether anyone else is watching or whether it makes you popular. This internal compass is your ultimate guide, ensuring that your actions are always aligned with who you truly are, not with the fleeting opinions or expectations of others. Think about the quiet discomfort that arises when you compromise a value, even in a seemingly small way, just to avoid conflict or to gain approval. That feeling, that subtle dissonance, is your inner self signaling that you are straying from your authentic path. Consistently ignoring that signal leads to a fragmentation of self, a feeling of being inauthentic, and a slow erosion of your self-respect. You might gain temporary external approval, but you lose something far more valuable, your inner peace and your integrity. This compromise is a heavy price to pay for fleeting acceptance. The challenge of staying true to your values often comes when you are faced with a choice in private, when no one is there to applaud your integrity or condemn your compromise. It's in those solitary moments that true character is forged. Will you cut corners when no one is watching? Will you indulge in a habit you know is detrimental when there's no immediate consequence? Will you uphold a principle even if it means standing alone? These are the tests of genuine commitment to your values. Passing these tests, even in private, reinforces your inner strength and deepens your sense of self-worth. Conversely, an unwavering commitment to your values, even when alone, builds an unshakable foundation of integrity. It creates a powerful internal consistency between who you say you are and how you actually behave. This consistency is the source of profound inner peace and an authentic, unshakable confidence. You don't need external validation because, deep down, that you are living in alignment with your truest self. This self-approval is far more valuable and enduring than any external praise could ever be. It's the quiet satisfaction of knowing you are living a life of principle. Consider the immense strength that comes from having a clear ethical framework that guides your decisions. When you know what you stand for, it becomes much easier to navigate complex situations and resist temptations. Your values act as a filter, helping you to quickly discern what is aligned with your path and what is not. This clarity simplifies decision-making and reduces internal conflict. It allows you to move through the world with a sense of purpose and a clear conscience, knowing that your actions are a true reflection of your character. So, how do you actively cultivate this vital skill of staying true to your values, particularly when alone? It starts with clearly defining your core values. What truly matters most to you? What principles do you want to live by no matter what? Is it honesty, integrity, compassion, diligence? Take the time to identify these foundational principles, write them down, and articulate what they truly mean to you in practical terms. This clarity is the first step towards consistent application. Next, regularly reflect on whether your daily actions are in alignment with these values. At the end of each day or week, take a moment to review your choices. Where did you uphold your values? Where might you have compromised? This reflective practice isn't about judgment. It's about self-awareness and continuous improvement. It helps you identify patterns, reinforce positive behaviors, and consciously choose to realign your actions with your principles where necessary. This constant self-assessment strengthens your internal compass. Another powerful technique is to visualize yourself upholding your values in challenging situations. Before you encounter a potential conflict or temptation, mentally rehearse how you will respond in a way that is consistent with your principles. This mental preparation strengthens your resolve and makes it easier to act with integrity when the moment arrives. It allows you to preemptively strengthen your commitment to your values, making it easier to stand firm when tested. Furthermore, recognize that living by your values, especially when alone, is an act of profound self-respect. You are honoring your own integrity, affirming your own worth, and building a character that is resilient and authentic. This internal validation is the most powerful reward. It's a quiet strength that emanates from within, radiating a sense of trust and reliability that others will inevitably perceive, even if they don't consciously understand its source. In essence, staying true to your values, even when alone, is the ultimate expression of personal integrity and genuine self-reliance. It's about building a character that is unshakable, a conscience that is clear, and a life that is authentically yours. When you master this fundamental aspect of self-mastery, you become a person of profound inner strength, someone who navigates the world not by external dictates, but by the unwavering guidance of your own moral compass. This commitment builds a legacy of integrity, beginning first and foremost with yourself. It ensures that your internal world remains consistent and strong, regardless of the shifting sands of external opinion or pressure. Let's now talk about a practical, yet profoundly empowering skill that is absolutely essential for genuine self-reliance and peace of mind. Learning how to manage money wisely. Money, in its essence, is a tool. And like any tool, if you don't know how to use it effectively, It can become a source of stress, limitation, and dependency. Mastering your finances isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about gaining control over a critical aspect of your life, reducing anxiety, creating opportunities, and building a foundation for future freedom and stability. Think about the profound difference between someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, constantly worried about unexpected expenses, and someone who has a clear understanding of their financial situation, with savings and investments providing a buffer. The former is often reactive, making decisions out of necessity or fear. The latter is proactive, empowered, and capable of making choices that align with their long-term goals. Financial mismanagement can shackle you, forcing you into situations or jobs you don't want simply to cover immediate needs. It creates a state of perpetual dependency, limiting your choices and eroding your sense of freedom. The absence of wise money management often leads to stress, missed opportunities, and a feeling of being perpetually behind. It's easy to spend impulsively to accumulate debt, or to simply ignore your financial reality, hoping it will somehow improve on its own. But money doesn't manage itself. It requires intentionality, discipline, and a clear strategy. Without these, your financial life can quickly become a source of significant anxiety, impacting your relationships, your health, and your overall sense of well-being. This lack of control over your finances is a major barrier to true self-reliance. Conversely, learning to manage money wisely provides an incredible sense of security, confidence, and expanded possibilities. It allows you to make choices based on opportunity, not just necessity. You can invest in your skills, pursue your passions, weather unexpected storms, and build a future that is aligned with your deepest aspirations. Financial wisdom isn't about being rich. It's about being resourceful, intentional, and having a clear understanding of how to make your money work for you rather than the other way around. This mastery over your financial resources empowers you to live a life of greater purpose and autonomy. Consider the compounding effect of consistent, wise financial decisions. Small, regular savings, carefully invested, can grow into substantial wealth over time. Mindful spending, avoiding unnecessary debt, and creating a clear budget can free up significant resources that can then be directed towards your most important goals. This isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistent, disciplined habits applied over time. Each wise financial choice you make is an investment in your future self and your future freedom. So how do you actively cultivate this essential skill of wise money management? It starts with gaining absolute clarity on your current financial situation. What is your income? What are your expenses? Where does your money actually go each month? Many people shy away from this honest assessment, but it's the most crucial first step. You cannot manage what you don't understand. Create a clear budget, track your spending, and get a complete picture of your financial inflows and outflows. This foundational understanding is non-negotiable. Next, prioritize saving and investing. Treat saving not as an afterthought, but as a non-negotiable expense. Make it automatic. Set up regular transfers from your checking account to a savings or investment account the moment you get paid. Even small, consistent contributions add up significantly over time. Understand the power of compounding and educate yourself on basic investment principles. The earlier you start saving and investing, the more powerfully compounding interest can work in your favor, building a financial safety net and a path to future abundance. Another key is to differentiate between needs and wants and to make conscious spending choices. Before making a purchase, pause and ask yourself, is this a necessity or is it a desire? Does this align with my long-term financial goals? This mindful approach to spending prevents impulsive decisions and ensures that Your money is being directed towards what truly matters to you. It's about being intentional with every dollar, understanding its purpose and its impact on your financial future. Furthermore, make a commitment to continuously educate yourself about personal finance. Read books, listen to podcasts, take online courses. Financial wisdom is not a static body of knowledge. It evolves. Stay informed about strategies for budgeting, debt management, investing, and tax planning. The more you learn, the more confident and capable you become in making sound financial decisions. This ongoing commitment to financial literacy is an indispensable aspect of true self-reliance. In essence, learning how to manage money wisely is about taking proactive control over your financial destiny. It's about transforming a potential source of stress into a powerful tool for freedom, opportunity, and peace of mind. When you master this skill, you become less dependent on external forces, more capable of pursuing your passions, and more secure in your ability to navigate life's challenges. This financial independence is a critical pillar of a truly self-reliant and fulfilling life, allowing you to build the life you envision without being constrained by financial limitations. It empowers you to make choices based on desire and on opportunity, not just on pressing need. Let's now explore an incredibly vital aspect of resilience and self-reliance that often goes unaddressed: building emotional strength. In life, rejection is inevitable. Whether it's a job application, a creative submission, a relationship, or an idea, at some point, you will face situations where your efforts are not accepted, your proposals are turned down, or your hopes are not realized. How you respond to these moments of rejection largely determines your ability to persevere, to learn, and to ultimately succeed. Without robust emotional strength, rejection can be paralyzing, leading to self-doubt, withdrawal, and a reluctance to try again. Think about the profound difference between someone who receives a no and views it as a definitive personal failing, and someone who views it as simply data, a redirection, or a stepping stone to a better fit. The former internalizes the rejection, allowing it to diminish their self-worth and future efforts. The latter processes it, learns from it, and moves forward with renewed resolve. Emotional strength in the face of rejection is not about being immune to feeling disappointment or sadness. It's about having the capacity to experience those emotions without allowing them to derail your progress or destroy your belief in yourself. The lack of emotional strength to handle rejection often leads to a cycle of avoidance. You might stop taking risks, stop putting yourself out there, or stop pursuing ambitious goals, simply to avoid the pain of potential rejection. This defensive posture limits your potential, keeps you in your comfort zone, and prevents you from experiencing the growth and rewards that often lie on the other side of risk. You become constrained by fear rather than propelled by ambition. This fear of rejection is a significant barrier to living a full, self-reliant life. Conversely, building emotional strength to handle rejection liberates you from this fear. It empowers you to take calculated risks, to put your ideas forward, to pursue ambitious goals, knowing that even if you face a no, you have the internal resources to cope, to learn, and to try again. It fosters resilience, a profound ability to bounce back from setbacks and to view them as integral parts of the learning process. This inner fortitude allows you to see rejection not as a definitive judgment of your worth, but as a temporary outcome in a larger journey of growth and discovery. Consider the immense growth that often comes from navigating rejection. Each time you face a setback and choose to persevere, you learn valuable lessons about yourself, about your approach, and about the world. You might discover a better strategy, a different path, or a more suitable opportunity. Rejection often forces you to reevaluate, to refine, and to strengthen your efforts in ways that might not have happened if you had easily succeeded the first time, is a powerful teacher, but only if you have the emotional strength to listen to its lessons rather than succumbing to its sting. So, how do you actively cultivate this essential emotional strength to handle rejection? It starts with reframing your perspective on rejection itself. Understand that a no is almost never a personal indictment of your worth as an individual. It could be a mismatch of timing, resources, fit, or simply someone else's preference. Separate your self-worth from the outcome of any single interaction or opportunity. Your value as a person is inherent and immutable, not dependent on external acceptance or approval. This fundamental distinction is critical for building resilience. Next, practice exposure to small rejections. Don't shy away from situations where you might face a no. This could be asking for a small favor, trying a new approach, or even just sharing an opinion that might not be universally accepted. Each time you intentionally put yourself in a position where rejection is possible, and then navigate it successfully, you desensitize yourself to its sting and build confidence in your ability to cope. This gradual exposure strengthens your emotional muscle against the impact of larger setbacks. Another powerful technique is to focus on your effort and your process, rather than solely on the outcome. You can control your effort, your preparation, your attitude, and your learning. You cannot always control the outcome, especially when external factors are involved. By shifting your internal validation from the result to the quality of your effort, you maintain a sense of control and self-worth, regardless of whether you achieve the desired external result. This process-oriented mindset is a profound source of internal strength. Furthermore, cultivate, while self-reliance means not depending on others for your happiness, having trusted friends, mentors, or family who can offer encouragement and perspective after a setback is invaluable. Share your experiences, process your emotions, and gain objective feedback from those who genuinely care about your well-being. This doesn't diminish your self-reliance. It provides a healthy outlet for processing emotions and gaining clarity, allowing you to bounce back even stronger. In essence, building emotional strength to handle rejection is about fortifying your inner world against the inevitable challenges of life. It's about developing resilience, cultivating a robust sense of self-worth, and embracing a mindset that views setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than reasons for despair. When you master this skill, you become incredibly fearless, capable of pursuing your dreams with unwavering determination, knowing that no single no can ever truly defeat you. This profound inner strength is a hallmark of true self-reliance and, and Dime wrote, indispensable asset for living a life of extraordinary courage and persistent achievement. It allows you to take risks, knowing that your spirit can weather any storm. So, as we bring our time together to a close, remember these vital principles. The journey of building a truly self-reliant life, a life of purpose, power, and profound satisfaction, is not a destination you arrive at overnight. It is a continuous, day-by-day commitment to personal growth, deliberate action, and unwavering self-belief. It's about recognizing the incredible power that resides within you and consciously choosing to harness it. It's about stepping forward, not backward, and forging your own path with courage and conviction. You have within you everything you need to navigate the complexities of life, to overcome your challenges, and to build the future you envision. It begins with taking full responsibility for your own existence, understanding that your choices, your efforts, and your responses are entirely yours to command. Stop waiting for external rescue. Activate your own inner potential. Cultivate an inner confidence that is rooted in your own capabilities and values, not in the fleeting opinions of others. Learn to trust your own judgment, to make your own decisions, and to steer your own course. Strengthen your self-discipline day by day through consistent effort and unwavering commitment to your goals. Create goals that are authentically yours, born from your deepest desires, not from external pressures. Continuously develop skills that empower you to adapt, create, and contribute, ensuring your independence in an ever-changing world. Build a robust work ethic that consistently carries you forward, even when the path is difficult. Learn to motivate yourself from within, fueled by purpose and passion, rather than relying on external pushes. Master the art of self-control, making conscious choices that align with your highest aspirations. Stop comparing yourself to others, recognizing the unique and invaluable nature of your own journey. Learn to handle problems with a solution-oriented mindset without the draining habit of complaining. Make reading and learning a daily, non-negotiable habit, continuously expanding your mind and sharpening your intellect. Intellect? Build systems that keep you accountable to your commitments, ensuring consistent progress. Stay true to your values, even when alone, forging an unshakable character and an unwavering sense of integrity. Learn to manage money wisely, transforming it into a tool for freedom and opportunity. And finally, build the emotional strength to handle rejection, understanding that setbacks are simply part of the journey towards greater resilience and ultimate success. These are not just ideas, they are actionable principles, a roadmap for living a life of profound personal power. The choice, as always, is yours. Will you continue to drift, or will you take the helm? Will you wait for life to happen to you, or will you actively create the life you truly desire? I urge you, with every fiber of my being, to choose the latter. Embrace these lessons, apply them diligently, and watch your life transform. The world awaits your unique contribution, your unwavering spirit, and the incredible achievements that will surely follow when you truly learn to depend on yourself. Now, go forth and build the magnificent life you are capable of creating. The time is now. Thank you.